2019 Audi A5 Cabriolet Review. The good points of Audi A5 Cabriolet: well-insulated cabin, impressive media system, good choice of powertrains, practical roof design. The bad points of Audi A5 Cabriolet: rear passengers lack legroom, expensive to purchase, expensive to incorporate options, not pretty much as good to drive as A5 Coupe. The Audi A5 Cabriolet could be the manifestation of 1/4 of a century of experience building four-seat soft-top cars. What's it like? Starting last 1992 together with the first Audi Cabriolet, the business has reached a stage now the place that the compromises traditionally informed about removing the metal roof at a car, poorer handling, noisier roof up refinement and significantly reduced practicality, have already been all but eradicated. A natural rival to your Mercedes-Benz C-Class Cabriolet and BMW 4 Series convertible, together with slightly more left-field options like the Ford Mustang convertible as well as the Range Rover Evoque convertible, the A5 is definitely an incredibly accomplished package. With the cover-up, it'll genuinely seat four in relative comfort, even if it might be a squeeze with the longer leg width in the back, and there's a usefully sized luggage compartment behind the folding rear seats to slot in a couple of suitcases. What's in the bonnet? There aren't any surprises here, with an array of very capable turbocharged TFSI petrol and TDI diesel engines coupled to some selection of slick and responsive manual and automatic gearboxes. There's something to fit a wide choice of tastes and preferences. We're particularly impressed with all the 2.0-litre TDI, that offers low running costs and punchy performance, and it also doesn't appear to be a tractor or shatter the solace on a summer's day once you lower your roof. And if you would like something a tad fruitier, the S5 Cabriolet perhaps there is to satisfy those in search of some extra performance as well as for something sweeter to be handled by when the top's down. Is there a high-performance option? Sort of. There's no RS5 Cabriolet to date. Even so, the S5 Cabriolet is accessible to provide a more thrilling experience compared to the standard versions, resplendent having its 3.0-litre V6 boasting 354 horsepower and sportier styling too. High-quality interior is often a delight. If you're gonna be in full view on the world together with the roof down, the inside environment must be pretty special, plus the A5 doesn't disappoint, which has a slick design and top-notch materials used throughout. It's all lifted directly from the A4 range. It's pure Audi class and simplicity, though an upmarket think its rivals find it difficult to match, and most lives up towards the handsome exterior styling with sharp lines and creases and bright LED lights all round. Performance: 5 engines open to choose from. Manual, automatic and twin-clutch auto to be had. Audi Drive Select to flick between drive modes. There's a couple of diesel engines and 2 petrol engines out there on the A5 Cabriolet, having a further high-performance V6 petrol inside S5 Cabriolet. Each option has its own advantages, and within the main they are all refined and perfectly fit for purpose, just what you'd expect from Audi. TDI diesel. 2 diesel engines are available inside the A5 Cabriolet, available elsewhere from the Audi range. There's a 2.0-litre TDI with 190 horsepower along with a generous 400 Nm of torque. It comes exclusively that has a 7-speed automatic S Tronic gearbox. This engine can perform powering the A5 from 0 to 62 miles per hour in 8.3 seconds and onto a premier speed of 145 miles per hour. However, if you opt for this engine with quattro all-wheel drive, the 0 to 62 miles per hour sprint drops to 7.8 seconds. The A5 fitted with this particular engine feels very accomplished drive an automobile. It helps which the gearbox has always the right gear to hand if you're accelerating, which will keep the engine rolling around in its ideal power band. However, the motor itself is also extremely smooth, and thanks to your incredibly well-insulated cabin, almost silent within the move, you'd find it difficult to recognize it's a diesel for most situations. If you will want more powerful TDI, there's a 3.0-litre V6 TDI pushing out 218 horsepower and 400 Nm of torque, which is capable completing the 0 to 62 miles per hour sprint in 6.8 seconds, and should be on to reach 149 miles per hour like the 2.0 TDI. It has an automatic gearbox, but only with quattro all-wheel drive. TFSI petrol power. There are two petrol engines, badged TFSI, in case you prefer petrol to diesel. The first option can be a 2.0-litre with 190 horsepower and 320 Nm paired using a 6-speed manual, the sole engine available using a manual gearbox, or even a 7-speed S Tronic dual-clutch auto. In both manual and auto form it'll alternate from 0 to 62 miles per hour in 7.9 seconds, with top speeds of 148 miles per hour and 147 miles per hour respectively. Both of these versions only have front-wheel drive. The 190 horsepower petrol is much more than adequate for some drivers' needs. It's almost silent operational but pulls well from low revs and works seamlessly in case you go for that automatic gearbox. It's a superb package and occupies a sweet spot inside range between your low-cost diesel plus the high-excitement S5, meaning it's a considerable compromise. If you demand a little more oomph from the A5, there's additionally a 252 horsepower 2.0-litre TFSI to select with 370 Nm of torque. Coming exclusively using a 7-speed automatic gearbox and quattro all-wheel drive, it'll sprint from 0 to 62 miles per hour in 6.3 seconds, and can reach 149 miles per hour at top speed. Audi A5 Cabriolet. The highest performing option turns into a 3.0-litre TFSI petrol V6 with 354 horsepower and quattro all-wheel drive mated in an 8-speed automatic gearbox. With a 0 to 62 miles per hour duration of just 5.1 seconds, it's essentially the most rapid version from the A5 cab, having an electronically limited top speed of 155 miles per hour. This engine is by far the most exciting from the range, with enough power for virtually every situation. It sounds great too, using a deep rumble at low speeds as well as increasing volume and frequency because the revs increase. Audi Drive Select. Controlled with a switch below the key infotainment screen, the Drive Select system allows the trucker to tailor the auto's characteristics on the type of driving they're doing. For example, on the favorite B road change to dynamic, and yes, it'll sharpen within the throttle response and tell the gearbox to hold onto each gear for a longer time, making for faster performance. Comfort mode is the alternative, while an eco mode aims with the most efficient drive and introduces a coasting function with the gearbox, which decouples it through the engine if you lift over throttle just to save fuel. This may be disconcerting in the beginning, but you'll soon learn to operate a vehicle around it. The final setting is individual, which allows the motorist to set up their unique mode according to their chosen parameters. Handling. Very tidy and controlled to operate a vehicle. S5 is outright winner here. Parking doable with deck. Thanks to your very stiff body shell, around 40% more rigid versus the previous generation, the A5 Cabriolet's handling is quite accomplished considering it lacks the strengthening a metallic roof provides. With quattro all-wheel drive system and adaptive suspension, the A5 has huge grip reserves and balanced, confident cornering abilities. Put the Audi Drive Select system into dynamic to get a firmer, sportier setup, or let it rest in auto, therefore it can go for itself the way the chassis should perform based on your own driving. This same system adjusts the weighting and the steering accordingly. The difference can often be difficult to detect on low-performance engines. Even without quattro, though, it's a tidy handler with good body control and impressive grip. You only spot the lack of all-wheel drive in greasier road conditions, but that's only in the event you have a better exuberant driving style. In reality, a front-wheel drive car will suit most, because the A5 Cabriolet encourages that you slow down and relish the ride. However, it's nice to find out it won't unravel itself and feel too cumbersome if and whenever you do want to have a little more fun. best with the bunch. The Audi S5 Cabriolet would be the best within the lineup. Drive an automobile by a long margin, because its sportier pretensions have allowed the firm's engineers to dial in additional weighting and feel to your steering, which means the driving force feels an improved connection with all the car. In this way, it's not too near behind the likes in the BMW 440i, but not quite as involving. We found the lesser powered model suffered slightly due to some pronounced numbness inside the front end, but this can be only apparent when pressing on, and frankly when you're doing that next, the S5 would be the car in your case anyway. The flip side is light, user-friendly steering, which makes low-speed maneuvering easier. Parking performance. With your roof up, parking may be hindered slightly by obscured vision across the rear quarters on the car, but standard parking sensors help here, and you've also got the extra cost option to feature a 360-degree parking camera or perhaps an automatic parking system to generate this that much easier. Behind the wheel. Smart cabin with quality build. High-tech multimedia system. Driving position isn't perfect. The cabin in the A5 Cabriolet is really a particularly nice spot to be. The materials feel good quality, and all in the switchgear features a reassuring weighting with it that further amplifies the premium way of drop-top motoring. We've been very impressed inside past with Audi's MMI navigation and infotainment arrangements, plus this car it's no exception. The integration of Google Maps as well as the optional Virtual Cockpit digital dial setup is usually a particularly neat feature. Set the dash to exhibit a zoomed-in look at your immediate surroundings, as the dash-mounted screen can present a view in the wider area. Scroll out far enough, plus it'll even show just what the weather is, such as other places along your route. Or you'll be able to switch involving the trip computer and what's playing for the media system, which has a choice of big or small dials, depending with your preference, while the key screen sitting for the dash is capable of showing the same information, and also more on the car's settings. All on the car's multimedia functions may be controlled through rotary MMI controller with the gear lever. However, the A5 Cabriolet also features voice activation using microphones inside seatbelts, a neat concept that also means you are able to create yourself heard more efficiently when talking around the phone using Bluetooth connectivity. Potentially problematic driving position. While most will discover the A5's driving position absolutely fine, with lots of adjustment inside supportive yet comfortable seats and controls, others may struggle. Some will find the motive forces seat isn't quite in line with all the pedals and leader. That could make them feel uncomfortable over long distances. It's worth noting that isn't a concern for all drivers. While overall visibility for that driver is a great one, the optional mesh wind deflector hampers the rearward view together with the roof down. Yet you'll want to buy in spot to keep the wind from intruding too harshly at higher speeds. Comfort. Adaptive suspension impresses. But won't be quite popular. Highly impressive cabin insulation. This is the one other area, the location, where the A5 Cabriolet shines. Thanks to your strong physiology and a really well insulated cabin, it's an outstanding attempt by Audi with one major caveat: we've only driven cars with electrically controlled adaptive suspension to date, an alternative that lower than 5% of buyers will pick. With your roof down, there's few people like going wind intrusion, providing you keep the windows up and also the wind deflector in their vertical position. It's an easy task to have a conversation using your passenger at motorway speeds. The most impressive thing here, however, is the place where hushed it is with all the roof up. It's just like you're driving metallic roofed car. It features a fabric top containing generous numbers of insulation, but its payoff, the A5 Cabriolet's construction, also plays a tremendous part in isolating wind, road and engine noise. As an example, it features thicker windows as opposed to coupe and sportback versions. Equipment. 4 trims levels to select from. 3 normal plus performance S5. Vast variety of options to provide kit. There are 4 specifications levels to be had here. The A5 Cabriolet comes in say, Sport and S-Line, as the higher performance S5 sits atop the tree in the meantime. While lower trims certainly are a little parsimonious within their offerings, there's a huge array of options to personalize and change your car. Standard Audi A5 Cabriolet equipment. At base specs A level, the subsequent features come as standard. 17-inch alloy wheels. Audi Drive select drive modes. Front and rear parking sensors. Xenon headlights with auto lights and wipers. Leather upholstery with heated front seats. 3-zone climate control. Fully automatic fabric roof and the choice of 4 colors: red, black, dark gray and brown. Seatbelt microphones for that standard smartphone interface. Automatic low-speed braking. Moving approximately sport additionally nets you MMI infotainment including sat-nav. Electrically adjustable front sports seats with 4-way lumbar support. LED interior lighting package. S-Line versions get 18-inch alloys, LED headlights and tail lamps featuring scrolling indicators. S-Line specific body styling. Sports seats trimmed in leather and Alcantara. Lowered, stiffer sports suspension using the no-cost option of your comfiest setup if needed. Standard Audi S5 Cabriolet equipment. Sitting for the pinnacle with the A5 range, the S5 Cabriolet enjoys the greatest specification. S5 specific body styling. 19-inch alloys. 3-spoke multifunction leader. Nappa leather sports seats. MMI navigation plus with 8.3-inch screen. 10-speaker audio system. LED interior lighting. Audi Virtual Cockpit. Optional Audi A5 and S5 Cabriolet accessories. Highlights through the extensive optional extras list available about the drop-top A5 and S5 include manual wind deflector behind front seats, sits over rear seats. Electronically operated wind deflector behind rear seats. A larger 24-litre AdBlue tank for diesel models plus a 54-litre fuel tank to the 2.0 TDI to enhance its range. Automatic boot opening in the car key. Wireless smartphone charging. Audi's Virtual Cockpit. A Bang & Olufsen 3D surround sound 19-speaker hi-fi system. Traffic sign recognition. Folding, automatically dimming door mirrors. LED interior lighting. Head-up display. Heated controls. Heating for front and back seats. Automatically dipping high beam. Hill start assist. Matrix LED headlights. Tinted rear windows. Sport differential, red brake calipers, adaptive suspension, S5 only. Variable speed dependent steering. Adaptive cruise control, safety. Decent standard kit. More available as options. Coupe achieved 5-star rating. A stiff body shell and a selection of airbags about the cabin imply that fundamentally the Audi A5 Cabriolet is usually a safe car. While it shares many parts together with the A4 Saloon and A5 Coupe, Euro NCAP has specified the 5-star rating awarded directly to them does not apply towards the Cabriolet, because heavier weight. It hasn't been tested yet. Expected to perform in the similar way, though. As standard you have an automatic parking system and autonomous emergency braking as well as cruise control and xenon headlights with LED daytime running lamps. Optional safety kit. There certainly are a number of packs which could offer extra safety and driver assistance technology. These include Driver Assistance Pack, Tour, Adaptive Cruise Control, Automatic Braking, Traffic Sign Recognition, Collision Avoidance Assistant, really helps to steer around impending obstacles, Turn Assist, prevents taking out into oncoming traffic, Active Lane Keeping. Light and Vision Pack, Audi Virtual Cockpit, Matrix LED headlights with directional indicators, LED interior lighting. Parking Assistance Pack, 360-degree camera, automatic parking. Parking Assistance Pack Advanced, cross-traffic warning, low-speed automatic collision warning and prevention. Technology Pack, upgraded sat-nav with 36-month internet connectivity, wireless smartphone charging. Vision Pack, Audi Virtual Cockpit, head-up display, automatically dipping high-beam headlights, interior and boot space. Neat roof design. Decent-sized boot. Seating for 4. The main thing to notice here could be the roof takes 15 seconds to look at, 18 seconds to shut, and can operate at speeds as much as 31 miles per hour, by using one touch in the button located around the central console between driver and front passenger seats. This makes it a really versatile machine. You are able to raise or lower your roof, pulling as much as traffic lights in the event you're caught short within a squall. Inside the automobile there's a welcome extra inch of shoulder room between front occupants, though the rear seats are just really appropriate for smaller people if 6-foot-tall adults are in advance. They are also completely redundant should you use the wind deflector, which is usually a must should you're traveling at any type of speed with all the roof down, to maintain wind buffeting to some minimum. We found headroom impressive while using roof in location 2. This isn't a cramped car the slightest bit unless you're resigned to sitting inside the back for periods of time, even though it can be quite dark. However, it's much less bad in any way. The A5 isn't a challenging car they are driving or maneuver, although rear visibility is really a little more restricted versus the coupe due towards the fabric roof and smaller rear windows. Total boot capacity is 380 litres, as the rear seats split in 3 and fold forward using levers inside boot to allow for longer things to be stowed. However, this isn't available for the S5 Cabriolet. If you want the rooftop down, you should sacrifice 60 litres of boot room, but handily there's a switch in that room that allows that you drop the box your roof folds into independently, so you are able to work out whether your cases will fit into any situation when you set off without operating your entire soft top mechanism.